Right. If people, so I went to a Fenway Park game of hurling not that long ago, which is an Irish sport that beats the crap out of things like rugby. Holy
Yeah.
crap, that game is fast and dangerous. I love it. It's one of the two sports literally on planet Earth that I express any interest in at all. And unfortunately, neither one of them are played in America to any sizable extent. Um, though
Yeah.
that is changing. Hurling is on its way up in America, and I think that's fascinating. They do not get paid. Uh, Irish Gaelic hurling players risk their lives. That ball hurtles at speeds of over 60 miles an hour, and it is a cork sphere wrapped in hardened leather twice. The hurls occasionally explode when they hit each other, so often that they call it the clash of the ash, and it happens all the time. And people get filled with like wooden shrapnel bits. You ever see ash explode, like the wood? It's a
No.
hardwood, but it still shatters like grenade shrapnel. It's
Oh wow.
fascinating.
Yeah.
People risk their lives to play that game,
Yeah.
and they don't get paid if because they love it that much. They don't care. It literally didn't cross their minds. If but it has now. I mean, they play in America in Fenway Park against other people in a country where you get paid oodles of money to play baseball,
Yes.
bunches of money. If
Yes.
it doesn't change the game at all, I provide the exact same table that I provide for my friends, like that I played for years with, for the people that I just met yesterday that want a custom experience. The only difference is that if you pay money for it, you have every right to tell me how it's going to go.
Hmm.
Every single right. If
Yep.
if you're going to go, if you're going to play with your Uncle John, right? Your Uncle John might not come in today. Your Uncle John might say, "Hey guys, we're playing D&D. Take it or leave it." I've had that guy. I like that guy. Like my friend Tom is a 5e guy. Those are the only books he owns. He likes 5e. I don't.
Yep.
If he's hosting, we're playing 5e. And my options are to suck it up or go play something else. And
Yep.
I loved hanging out with Tom, so I'm going to play 5e, but it isn't what I wanted. If I was paying Tom money, Tom plays what I tell him to play.
Yes.
This does not change when you pay me. I
Yes.
host the system that you want me to host. I'm familiar with just under
Well,
800.
not only that, I think the professional would bring an extra ability, like it's an extra stuff like observing what your players like and don't like. Like you,
Right,
amateur DMs will play what they like, and you just have to go
right.
along. But a professional DM, not only do they play the system you want, or maybe the system you didn't know you wanted, and they figure it out for you,
It's
but
possible.
they also observe, oh, this guy doesn't like role playing, or this guy doesn't, or this guy loves, being that Rambo guy who does a
Right,
crazy
right.
move, but the player might not even realize it about themselves. So the
And
professional has that
consistency.
extra ability to observe their players and see what they like and don't like.
For me, consistency is a huge thing. If you're like my Friday table, nope, sorry, wrong one. Tuesday, nope. Let me check my notes. Let me make sure I get the right table here. That is I was right the first time. That's the Monday table. One of the players at the Monday table has a GM on Sundays.
Mm.
His Sunday GM, who he's played with for years and is really good friends with, like they're at each other's weddings, right? They are best friends. They grew up together. They've spent 2/3 of their lifespan knowing each other. Uh, he didn't show up. He's hosting. He didn't show up. Like 5 minutes. He sent him a text 5 minutes before play started and said, "Hey guys, not going to make it." And they're like, "Well, I mean, we already knew that given how far we traveled to get here. Gee, thanks."
Yeah.
And I said, if you paid me, that is off the table. Like
Yes.
it's just like going to a more traditional job. If I worked at Market Basket as my first real job, like where you get taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
And Market Basket I was a part-time deli clerk. That is, Market Basket pays not very well. Though I did get paid fairly well for the job because there's a giant rotating knife and I got hazard pay accordingly. Because if you ever look at a slideshow, that's just a big spinning knife.
Yeah.
That's all that is. But like the guys up front who didn't do that got paid less than I did, and they got paid not very well. And Market
Yes.
Basket was part time, and they didn't care. They were going to hire a million people, and you got no benefits. And if you showed up late, you were in deep shit. And
Yep.
if you were late 3 times, you were fired.
Yeah. Those are the worst jobs. I feel
This
like
is really no different than that. If you
yeah.
pay me money, I'm showing up on time.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Next question.
Sure.
How do you attract players?
Oh, that one's harder. So I usually go to where they are. If you were looking to find a host to run your table for you, you said, man, I would love somebody to run a Cyberpunk 1 game, a Cyberpunk Red game for me.
Mm.
Where would you go? Go there.
Yeah.
If you hop onto Facebook and you're like, hey guys, I'm hosting, I own this, and this. Who wants to play? Now you kind of sound like a sales monkey. Compare that to, I'm on Roll20. I know people there are looking for Cyberpunk Red one-shots because I scrolled through the thingy, right?
Yep.
And then you reach out to them. Now you don't look like a sales monkey. Now you look like the answer to the question they already asked.
Yes.
Of
course.
Go to where they are.
Yeah.
Is that marketing? I've never really.
Well, yeah, marketing is you find the people that want the product. Like you're not selling Honda Civics to
the guy who wants a Ford F1 Super Duty, right?
To the cowboy who owns a ranch, right?
Right, he doesn't want that.
Yeah.
My mother, my mother still lives there. I grew up in the middle of just nowhere. My mother's vehicle contains, at any given moment, 100 feet of rope this big around, a rifle, a sizable knife, road flares, and I'm missing something. And all of those things, a machete. All of those things get used at the same time sometimes on the way. A spare tire on the way home in a giant Ford Explorer. My mother has this much interest in owning a Ford Focus.
Yes.
Like zero interest.
Yes.
So you go to where the people are and you provide the thing that you're selling. If they're not interested, stop swinging. Right? Don't ask again. Move on and wait for the next person. There'll be another person.
Exactly.
Tabletop games aren't going anywhere. They've never been more popular. Critical Role, Stranger Things.
Yes.
It has never been so cool to be a nerd.
Well, yeah, D&D's been selling highest ever for 6 years in a row.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yes.
I mean,
even games like BattleTech and stuff are making a comeback.
Yeah, and you don't even need to stick to like fantasy. So Star Wars is back, right? Big movie productions every year. The whole world knows who Spider-Ham is. Ant-Man got his own movie. Deadpool has had 2 movies. What in the world? I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a great time to be a geek. I am stunned that my mother knows who Spider-Ham is. What?
Yes. Right. They legitimately like him. It's pretty funny. But yeah, next question.
Sure.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face currently?
So one of them is an ever standing issue, names. Specifically, did you mean like aspects of the table?
Well, it could be aspects of the table. It could be in just running this as a profitable activity, anything like that.
Consistency is hard sometimes. Sometimes I don't fill tables as frequently as I would like.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's 40 hours of work, not 40 hours worth of money.
Yes.
But so consistency is hard. And I get caught up in my own head a lot. Do I advertise this one shot? How many times do I post that in the Facebook group before I'm being kind of pushy? Like the day before, for sure. The week before, you bet. More than that, I don't know. That one's hard for me.
Yeah.
At the table, names. I have a really hard time with names, so I came up with a D100 list that I made myself of curated names, and I just scratch them off as and descriptions. I recently, for some reason, my brain has stopped doing that. So I've in the last couple of weeks, I've had 3 players all tell me that my descriptions fell off. I went, oh. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I recorded my last couple and I looked through them and they're absolutely right. And I don't know where the hell that came from. My combat descriptions are still great. You didn't hit that guy. You numbed his arm with the force of the blow. You didn't kill that guy. You varnished the floor with his blood. There you go. If you're not describing if you're not describing combat like Robert Howard describes combat, you need to double up. No one misses and hits. That's lame. People galvanize that dude's face with the amount of effort they drive their knuckles into his forehead with.
Yes.
But descriptions of individual places, for some reason, that has flaked in the last couple of weeks, and I don't know why, and I cannot seem to fix it. I don't know what is happening there.